being a mom is sacred to me. It's sacred to my faith. So being a mentally ill mom, I took it especially serious. And I put as many protections in place as I could once I found out that I had an illness. And this video is about that journey. In 2014, I had my first psychotic break. It hit completely out of nowhere. Before that, I hadn't had a schizophrenia onset. It could be argued that I had plenty of mania, or hypomanias, which are very different than a mania. But even those weren't severe yet. My life looked a lot different back then. You're so pretty. I was in college, nursing school. And then I switched to the culinary arts, my true passion. I was in college. I made astoundingly good grades. I was working as a cashier. And I was just like building the foundations of a life out of stay-at-home momhood. And out of nowhere, a psychotic break started to take me out. It happened slow, too. Over the course of about 6 months, it started with the isolation phase. You know what? That's a different video. How the pattern of that happened. This is about what happened after I found out, after my kids were involved in my first psychotic break, because during it, I ran out of the house thinking there was a monster in the middle of the night and the cops had to come get us. It's my child's first memory. But she does remember me protecting her and not hurting her. Nothing like that has ever happened again because I have taken the proper steps. The first steps I took was admitting that I wasn't okay all the time, that I couldn't watch them all the time, that I needed help. I had a system. Thank goodness my schizophrenia symptoms start after episodes of insomnia, so it's very obvious. Day 1 of no sleep, I get a little worried. Day 2 of no sleep, I call the sitter. Day 3 of no sleep, they're over at the sitter. I found people to babysit me during those times. It was a lot to put aside my pride, but it was also easy. I took the meds I had to take up until this mania last time when I stopped them because of heart concerns. Thank goodness my kids were not. No, I guess they were involved because I went catatonic on the bed and they saw me get wheeled out still, so they were involved. But it was different this time, and they're older. Another huge step we took in protecting our children was being honest about mental illness from the get-go, from the earliest that they could. They knew mom was not okay sometimes, and if she started acting weird, to get somebody. I've heard a lot of people who don't do that. I've heard a lot of people who don't even bother to tell their kids that a parent is unwell. And I had somebody confront me once to be like, why would you tell that? Parents are supposed to be towers of strength. And that's not how that works, especially when you have a mental illness like I did. Do. Not did, do. Yeah, Matt, I haven't told you. I have a mental illness, Matt. Hello. Hello. Eventually, we have to admit as a society that in families, we need to have an ongoing conversation around mental health, around mental illness, but on the realities of we all suffer with. In some form or another, everybody knows somebody touched by it. Doesn't matter your economic class, doesn't matter your race, it doesn't matter your age. My schizophrenia hit much older than it should have ever. I expected to look for it when I was a child. I expected to look for it when I was in my 20s. I didn't expect to be 30 and have late onset schizophrenia. We got our kids in therapy also. That's been a huge game changer for this situation, just to have them be able to talk to a side person that is not connected to us gives me a layer of peace to this situation. And it really helps them too. I was lucky. I was lucky for the fact that I have a lot of insight into the situation. I'm lucky for the fact that I believe in modern medicine more than, the fun stuff in life. I believe, and that makes a huge difference because a lot of people who don't suffer from mental illness don't even believe it's a problem, which is the biggest point I need to make with this video. There are two parents in the equation usually. And if the first parent, who is the mentally ill one, can't do what they need to do to protect their children, then the second parent has to step up. It's not excusable to allow your child around an unmedicated mentally ill person. It's not excusable to allow a roller coaster around those children. It's not. And I see a lot of parents who do not leave their mentally ill spouse, that do not protect the children, that don't even go through the steps to find somewhere else to put the children while the spouse is dealing with that. It's a horrible situation to be into, but we need to have undivided loyalty to our young, not to who we're dating, not to our spouses. And if they aren't willing to get the help they need, then we need to protect them at all cost. I would expect the same from the people that surround me. I did that to myself when I decided I couldn't watch my children on those days. Eventually, the other parent might have to step up. It's unexcusable to allow. In my case, I was lucky. I had insight. I've stepped up quite a bit. But not everybody is that lucky. I feel like there's a million things I should add to this video, and it's never going to be as complete as I want it to be. I guess the biggest point is just protect your children, even from yourself if you have to. I hope everybody's doing good today.